What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some expectations for this upcoming week, what might cause volatility in the stock price, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with some data points, Monday and Tuesday are going to be relatively quiet. No Fed speakers, no data points, so it's going to be more of a technical driven couple days. And then kicking off on Wednesday, you do have CPI, and then to cap off that day, the Fed's making their interest rates or their decision. And so it is assumed a 97.8% likelihood that there won't be any change, which I think the broader market kind of understands that. It's not going to be up until September onwards. That's what the market is right now forecasting for, I guess, the first rate cut. And so when it comes to what is said afterwards, after most likely the Feds don't change anything, that is going to disrupt the broader market, no doubtably. And kind of very convenient with CPI coming out that same day. And then on Thursday, you have PPI. And then Friday is just going to be piggybacking off of basically Wednesday and Thursday's data. Specific to Lucid though, there is a couple of webinars or I guess conferences that they're participating in. First one is going to be on Tuesday. Second one is going to be first thing on Wednesday. So it's going to be more, I guess, that and also CPI are going to be disrupting Lucid specifically. But on Tuesday, Deutsche Bank Global Auto Industry Conference. And then the second one, in my opinion, I started to think about this and maybe the second one, so the Evercore ISI Global Clean Energy and Transition Summit. This is where Peter might be more open to talking on ESS. So I was more excited initially for the Deutsche Bank one, but I don't know. I think the second one coming out on Wednesday might be more beneficial to Lucid. But then again, what do I know? But aside from all this, just more gravity showings. I still do believe it's in Pasadena up until the 16th, if I remember correctly. So the gravity is going to be showcased and whatever else, which is generally good stuff. We still don't have any definitive date on when their reservation is going to open, but I think most likely it's going to be in the fall, but we'll just have to wait and see. Aside from that though, shorts. So shorts have been somewhat pulling back, which again is kind of a good thing. So on Friday, they returned 1.62 million shares. 27.54% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 243.94 million shares overall are being shorted. So under my other channel, Trending Stocks, I did a top 5. Last week, Lucid was stock number 5. This week, Lucid was stock number 6. So it didn't really make the list, but I did feel the need to bring Lucid up in that video because it is crazy heavily shorted. So hopefully Lucid does say something very good in these two conferences, because that's one thing that Lucid has always really missed out on, because looking at the fundamentals of the data points, like it is a squeeze play. The only thing it's always missed out on is having a surprise catalyst. So dependent on what is said, then you could see some shorts return. And then, of course, what happens with the Feds, what Powell does say, and then what CPI comes out as, you're going to see shorts kind of acting accordingly based on that. So nonetheless, it is going to be a crazy volatile week. So some things to really watch for though is some of the strong support and resistance points. With it closing at $2.73, it is trading between this S1 and the pivot. So $2.80 will be that next strong resistance / target, and then $2.70, which it did bounce off of on, I believe, Thursday and also Friday. That's going to be a support that you'll want to watch for. Even just generally looking here, previously outside of that $2.80, it is $2.88. So you can kind of see how like Lucid was wanting to break out, and then unfortunately they did submit that S8 and then several 4 and 4s, which was a very good indication that dilution is occurring. And so I think that's one thing that 2024 has been absolutely relentless on, is companies massively and in some cases unjustifiably diluting. So I think Lucid kind of falls under that criteria, because I think they're burning through a lot of cash as is, and they just announced layoffs. Now they approved that 2021 incentive plan for the employees, which generally is good. But at the same time, the compensation is just the directors as well. Each got, I think, 96,000 shares. So I don't know. I'm going to take a step back from that because you guys can do your own due diligence, and you guys, I think, already know my opinion on Lucid and their cash burn. So I think just Lucid does need to get their crap together sooner rather than later before they lose a lot of their institutions that have been backing them and supporting them. Like as soon as maybe BlackRock starts to give up on Lucid, or maybe Vanguard, State Street, a lot of the big names, or even the PIF, which I don't see the PIF doing, but once institutions start to turn on the company, this is where things get scary. So let me know your thoughts on that. But when it comes down to this upcoming week though, just to give you a good overview, so it is right now still above that 50-day moving average. So that's something that probably will be tested this week. So depending on the data and what is said, it could either break below that or hopefully transition back into the higher percentile because of what is said. Stochastic, you do see no defined trend, but it is somewhat neutral. So not really overbought nor oversold. So just keep that in mind. But number of retail investors haven't been doing anything ever since it looks like the 5th. So they've been probably just waiting for some piece of news from Lucid itself to really justify buying. But then again, it is below 0. So in general, right now, Lucid is losing buyers every day, which is very discouraging, right? I think a lot of us can all agree that Lucid has amazing technology. That's what Peter always rants on, and probably what he will probably have a good speech on about both of these. So just have fun and listen to him rant about technology and all the other fun jazz. What you always need to do when it comes down to Peter ranting is just listen for those finite details, especially what was said during the shareholder meeting, just that they're working with, or I guess to try and come to an agreement with several OEMs on some partnerships and whatever. So you kind of have to just listen to like 5 words, key words that Peter will say during these meetings to give an Easter egg on what is coming, aside from his salesman pitch. So I think Lucid, like a lot of people know that they have good technology, just they're very misguided right now. So all in all, it will come down to the data points. So CPI, as well as the Feds, what they do say after they maintain the interest rate, as well as what is said during these conferences. So in my opinion, we could be touching that $2.50 if everything, worst case scenario. Vice versa, we could potentially touch that $3 mark. But options wise has always played a very big role in Lucid's downfall, and this is where you do see a lot more shorts get active around these strike prices. So if Lucid for this upcoming week does get close to $3 mark, then you're going to see shorts really double down to ensure that it does not close above $3. So again, that's something to kind of keep in mind. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. Give yourself a shout out. Are you planning on buying this week? Are you selling? And where do you see things going for this week? Do you think that it's going to be touching the kind of the mid 2s, or do you think it's going to be above $3 for the first time in a very long time? So what's your thoughts? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And one final thing I just wanted to share with you, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Kick-ass deal, link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.